You see, while I'm talking, I'm conscious of what I say, I'm conscious of myself, yet only to a certain extent. Quite a lot of things happen. For instance, I make gestures. I'm not conscious of them. They happen unconsciously. You can see them.
Yes.
I may say or use words, and I can't remember at all how to use those words, or even at the moment I'm not conscious of them. So any amount of unconscious things occur in my conscious condition. I'm never wholly conscious of myself. While I'm trying, for instance, to elaborate an argument, at the same time, there are unconscious processes that continue, perhaps a dream, which I had last night.
They keep showing up in your dreams, that one person, again and again. Why? Carl Jung believed there's a reason for that in his theory of synchronicity. And no, it's not just about memory or obsession, it's a message from your unconscious, and maybe from something even bigger. In this video, we're diving into what that person truly represents. Why won't they go away? And how it is no coincidence at all. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's begin with Carl Jung's realization about how dreams are not just random thoughts or leftover bits from your day. They are not noise, they are messages, and they come from a deep part of your mind called the unconscious. Carl Jung expressed this beautifully in his book, Collected Works Volume 10, Civilization in Transition. In each of us there is another whom we do not know. He speaks to us in dreams and tells us how differently he sees us from the way we see ourselves. When, therefore, we find ourselves in a difficult situation to which there is no solution that radically alters our attitude, the very attitude that led us into the difficult situation. This is the part of you that you don't see during the day. It holds your forgotten memories, your hidden desires, your fears, your potential, everything you are but do not yet know. At night, when you sleep, the unconscious sends you images. These images come in the form of dreams. But dreams don't speak in words like we do. They speak in pictures and feelings. These pictures and feelings are called symbols. A symbol is a picture that means more than what it shows. If you dream of a lion, it's not just about a lion. It may be about courage or danger or something powerful waking up inside you. A house might be your inner self. A flood might be your emotions. Some of these symbols are personal. For example, if your childhood dog appears in a dream, that symbol belongs only to you. But other symbols are shared by all people. These are called archetypes. Archetypes are deep patterns or images that live in all human minds. We all recognize them, even if we don't know why. The wise old man, the nurturing mother, the trickster, the hero. These figures appear in stories across time and cultures, and they also appear in our dreams. But why? Because they show us truths about our inner world. A dream is like a story from your soul. It tells you what is missing, what is hurting, what wants to grow. It shows you who you really are and who you could become. So you see, dreams are not nonsense. They are purposeful. Each dream is made just for you, like a letter written in a secret code. And if you learn to read it, it can guide your life. When you dream of someone, your mother, your ex, a stranger, it often feels like the dream is about them. But in most cases, it is not. The people in your dreams are usually not who they seem to be. They are masks worn by parts of you. Your unconscious chooses these faces to represent something inside you. It uses people you know, or even people you've never met, because each one carries a certain feeling or energy. And that energy speaks for a part of your own psyche. Jung clarifies this symbolic relationship further in his work, Structure and Dynamics of the Psyche, explicitly saying, such an interpretation, as the term implies, conceives all the figures in the dream as personified features of the dreamer's own personality. Let me explain the three inner figures that often show up in this way. First, there is the shadow. The shadow is the side of you that you don't want to see. It holds the traits you dislike, deny, or fear, like anger, envy, laziness, or even strength you were told you shouldn't have. It can appear in dreams as someone you're in conflict with, someone you judge, or someone you feel uneasy around. But the real question is, what part of me does this person reflect that I don't want to face? Then second, there is the Anima and the Animus. These are your inner opposites. If you are a man, the Anima is your inner feminine, your emotions, intuition, imagination. If you are a woman, the Animus is your inner masculine, your thinking, your will, your voice. These figures can appear in dreams as people of the opposite sex. They may charm you, disturb you, challenge you, or pull you towards something mysterious. They come to help you grow into a fuller human being. And third, deeper still, there is the self. The self is your wholeness, what you are meant to become. It sometimes shows up as a wise figure, a powerful stranger, a child, or even a divine being. When this figure appears, it is not just any dream. Something important is happening inside you. Now comes the tension, the question that stirs the soul. Why that person, and why now? The dream could have used anyone, but it chose them. So you must ask, what does this person make me feel? What do they have that I might be missing in myself? What am I being asked to see? While you work, you hold those questions in your mind. Let me introduce you to the key that opens the meaning behind why you keep seeing that person in your dream. There is a word I use for the continuous appearance of a symbol in your dreams, which in this case is a person. That word is synchronicity. It means a meaningful coincidence. Two things happen at the same time, or close together, but there is no clear cause between them. They are not connected by logic, but they feel deeply connected. Something in your soul says, this matters. Let me give you an example. Imagine you dream of an old friend, someone you haven't seen in years. In the dream you speak, or perhaps there's a strange feeling between you. You wake up and a few hours later they text you out of the blue, or you see their name somewhere, or hear a song that reminds you of them, and you ask yourself, how is this possible? This is not just chance, this is synchronicity. Your inner world, the dream, somehow lines up with the outer world, what happens in waking life. It is as if the unconscious is not trapped inside your head, but is part of something larger, as if the psyche is connected to the rhythm of the world. When synchronicity happens, it means, pay attention. Something is breaking through, something wants to be seen. And yes, this often happens with people. Someone appears in a dream, and then shows up in real life. It may be a message, it may be a turning point, it may be the psyche calling you towards something unfinished. However, this brings us to a point you simply cannot afford to miss if you want to know what that person is so often in your dream. When someone appears in your dream, or even repeatedly in your thoughts, they may not be there simply because you miss them, or because of memory. Often, they are there because they are a mirror. This is the mirror principle. This means that the person in front of you, whether in dreams, in life, or in imagination, is showing you something about yourself. They are reflecting back an emotion you haven't fully felt, a story inside you that isn't finished, a trait you carry but haven't accepted. The unconscious is wise. It chooses people who carry just the right energy to stir something in you. Maybe someone you once loved but couldn't keep. Maybe someone you feared or looked up to. Maybe someone who hurt you. They appear again, not to torture you, but because a part of you is asking to be seen. The dream uses their face, their presence, to bring your attention to an inner truth. Perhaps you need to grieve. Perhaps you need to forgive. Perhaps you need to take back something you gave away. Your voice, your power, your vulnerability. This is why the experience feels personal, sometimes haunting. As if the dream is not just a message, but a knock at the door. A call from the depths of your own soul. The longer we ignore these reflections, the louder they become. The dreams repeat. The images return, because the psyche will not give up on you. It wants wholeness. When you keep dreaming of the same person over and over, it is not your conscious mind that is choosing it. You are not deciding to dream of them. They are being chosen by something deeper, by the psyche itself. The unconscious is like a magnet. It pulls in what is missing, what is unresolved, what is calling to be brought into balance, and it will use whatever face, whatever memory, whatever symbol it must, until the message is received. So when someone appears again and again in your dreams, it is a sign. Something is out of balance inside you. Something important has been left out, left in the dark, and now it wants to come into the light. This might be a feeling you have buried, a part of your personality you've rejected, a wound that never healed, or even a potential, a part of your future self that you are resisting. Dreams repeat because the psyche is wise, but also patiently persistent. If you ignore it, it grows stronger. If you dismiss it, it returns with more force. The more you ignore it, the louder it becomes. This is not to punish you, it is to help you. The unconscious is not your enemy, it is your other half. It wants you to become whole. Most people think of their inner world and the outer world as separate things. There is me, and then there is everything else. My thoughts, and then the world outside of me. This is how the ego sees things. It needs that separation to function. It draws a line between inside and outside, but every so often, something happens that makes that line blur. A dream reaches out into waking life, or an outer event pierces your inner world so precisely that you cannot help but wonder, is this coincidence, or is something else going on? This is the realm of synchronicity. Synchronicity is not just any coincidence, it is a meaningful one. Two events, one inside, like a dream or a thought, and one outside, like a phone call or a chance meeting, occur at the same time or close together. They are not connected by cause and effect, but they are connected by meaning. They feel linked deeply, inexplicably, as if they were part of the same design. This is not fantasy. This is something I witnessed again and again in the lives of my patients and in my own. And it happens most often when you are at a threshold, when you are approaching a change in your life, when the structure you have built around yourself is no longer enough to hold the truth of who you are becoming. This is when the unconscious begins to stir. And if you do not listen to it, it will find another way to speak, perhaps through a dream, perhaps through the return of a person you thought was long gone, perhaps through a symbol, a song, a name whispered by the world. This is when synchronicity steps in. Let me give you an example. Imagine you dream of a person you haven't spoken to in years. In the dream, they say something simple but strange. You wake up feeling unsettled, and then, later that same day, their name appears on your screen, or someone brings them up in conversation, or you see a photo of them unexpectedly. Now, you might say, what a coincidence. But I tell you, it is more than that. This is your psyche and the world aligning. This is the unconscious reaching out, not only within you, but through the fabric of reality itself. The boundary between your inner life and your outer life has grown thin. Something wants to emerge, and both the dream and the world are conspiring to bring it to you. When this happens, it is often because you are resisting something. You may be resisting a truth, or a loss, or a transformation that wants to take place. A part of you may be trying to hold on to the old way of being, and so the self, the larger whole of you, sends signs, through dreams, through symbols, through synchronicities. It is like receiving a puzzle piece from the unconscious. You may not know where it fits yet, but it belongs, and until you find its place, something in you will remain incomplete. This is what I call individuation, the process of becoming whole. It is not about perfection. It is not about being healed. It is about becoming who you truly are. And every image, every symbol, every dream, and every synchronicity is part of that journey. So when someone shows up in your dream and then shows up again in waking life, you must not ask only why them. You must ask, what is this moment asking of me? What is trying to change in me? What truth am I being led toward, whether I want it or not? That person may carry a piece of your soul, and the dream may be the self saying, take it, now is the time. But most people wake up from a powerful dream and do the worst possible thing. They shrug it off. It was strange, they say. It doesn't mean anything. Or worse, it was just about that person I used to care about. I need to stop thinking about them. But here is what I know after a lifetime of listening to dreams. The things you ignore are the things that rule you. The things you dismiss are the things that return. When the unconscious sends you a dream, especially one that stirs emotion, that lingers for hours or days, it is sending you an invitation to look, to feel, to ask, what part of me have I not yet faced? And if a specific person is in the dream, there is always a reason. They are not random. They are not simply someone from your past. They are being used by your psyche because they carry a particular energy, memory, or quality that you are now being asked to confront or reclaim. Maybe they mirror a part of you that is still wounded, or a feeling you never allowed yourself to feel. Maybe they hold a trait you secretly need, courage, or tenderness, or honesty. Or maybe they carry something you projected onto them, your hope, your fear, your longing for love. The only way to find out is to engage, so the next time you dream of them, do not turn away. Sit with it. Ask, why this person? Why now? What are they here to show me about myself? What feeling did I not finish when I last knew them? Is there something I gave to them that I now must take back? And if the dream is confusing, or painful, or hard to hold, good, that means it is alive. The most important dreams are never easy to interpret. They are riddles, not answers, but they always contain a direction. There are ways to work with this. You might begin by writing the dream down, not just as a record, but as a living story. Let it breathe. Let the images speak. Write not only what happened, but how it felt, what stayed with you, what disturbed you. Or go deeper. Sit quietly and bring the figure from the dream into your imagination. Speak to them. Ask them why they are here. This is called active imagination, and it is one of the most powerful tools we have. The psyche responds when we listen. And if the dream reveals something dark, something you don't want to see, then you are touching the shadow. Do not be afraid. This part of you is not evil. It is simply the part you were taught to hide. When you face it, you become more whole. This is the journey, not a straight path, but a spiral. The same figures may return, the same symbols may rise again and again, but each time you are ready to see a little more. The unconscious is not trying to trick you. It is trying to lead you to wholeness, to freedom, to truth. They appear again because the energy they represent has not been integrated. Integration is the process of becoming whole. It's the heart of Jung's work. To integrate means to acknowledge the hidden parts of yourself and bring them into consciousness. It doesn't mean acting on every impulse. It means recognizing them, owning them, and transforming them. If you don't, the unconscious keeps pushing, through dreams, through patterns, through synchronicities. That's why the same symbols keep resurfacing. That's why certain emotions keep replaying. That's why the same faces keep showing up. The unconscious doesn't give up until you listen. And when your unconscious mind teams up with the universe through synchronicity, that's not just psychology anymore. That's alchemy. You're watching your inner world materialize in the outer world. And that's the moment you can't ignore it anymore. So, what do you do now? Next time they appear, don't dismiss it. Don't tell yourself it was just a dream. Ask why. Ask what part of you is trying to return. Pay attention to what you felt, what they said, how they looked. The answers are never outside of you. They're in the symbols, in the feelings, in the timing. That person you keep seeing, they're not here to confuse you. They're not even here for closure. They're here to wake you up, not to the past, but to a truth you're finally ready to meet. So don't just interpret the dream. Answer it, live it, integrate it. And if you're ready to keep exploring these hidden patterns, how the psyche speaks through symbols, and how your unconscious and the world are more connected than you ever imagined, then check out our other videos. And never forget, together we will remember our timeless wisdom.